Hello, boys and girls. I have a story for you tonight. It's not really art or music related, it's just a book that I thought was good for this time of the school year. So, it's called Princess Bee and the Royal Goodnight Story. This was one of my favorites growing up. Princess Beatrice, better known as Bee, lives in a palace. She does not live alone. Also in the palace are her mom, the queen, her dad, the king, the royal big sister, the royal big brother, and quite a few royal others. Being a princess is not easy. Before Bee can go to bed at night, she must wait for the royal turner down to turn down the covers on her bed and leave a rose for sweet dreams beside her pillow. But the royal turner down must first turn down the beds of the king and queen, the royal big sister, the royal big brother, and by the time she gets to Bee, there are often no roses left. Never mind. Mum always brings an extra when she comes to tell Bee the royal goodnight story. One day, Princess Bee's mum called for the royal folder, the royal packer, and the royal suitcase snapper. "Please pack my things," she said. "Where are you going?" asked Bee. "To goodness knows where," said Mum. "To visit my favorite aunt." "How long will you be gone?" asked Bee. 3 days, said Mum. "Nights too?" said Bee. 3 days and 3 nights, and then I will come home." When her suitcases were ready, Mum gave out goodbye kisses, one for the king, one for each for the royal big sister and brother, and one for Bee. And then she gave each of them another. Mum never ran out of kisses, but it was time to go, so she did. "I have never spent 3 whole days and 3 whole nights without Mum before," said Bee. "And I don't think she has ever spent 3 days and nights without me." "Never mind," said the royal big sister. "Tonight I will tell you a goodnight story." "That is Mum's job," said Bee. "Oh, anyone can do it," said her sister. "I don't think so," said Bee. That night, the royal big sister perched on the windowsill in Bee's bedroom. "Once upon a time," she said, "there was a royal big sister who threw a ball so hard and so fast it landed on the moon. After that, she became the first royal big sister to pitch the winning game of the World Series. The end." "That story was too short," said Bee. "I'm still awake." "There is no more," said her sister. "After the World Series, baseball season is over. Good night." It was not a good night for Bee. "Mum never runs out of story before I fall asleep," she thought, and she tossed and turned almost as long as the stars twinkled. The next morning, Bee's eyelids drooped as she sat before the royal oatmeal. "Bee," cried the royal big brother, "you look miserable. What's wrong?" "I couldn't fall asleep last night," said Bee. "Never mind," said her brother. "Tonight I will tell you a good night story." "That's Mum's job," said Bee. "Oh, anyone can do it," said her brother. "I don't think so," said Bee. That night, the royal big brother sat on the edge of Bee's bed. Once upon a time, he said, there was a royal big brother who tamed a fire-breathing dragon and made it his pet. Then he took it to school for show and tell. The end. That story was too short, said Bee. I'm still awake. There is no more, said her brother. You can only bring a pet to school for show and tell once. Good night. But it was not a good night for Bee. Mom never, ever runs out of story before I fall asleep, she thought, and she sighed and grumbled almost as long as the crickets sang. The next morning, Bee's shoulders sagged as she sat before the royal waffle. Bee, cried her dad, the king, you look wretched. What's wrong? I couldn't fall asleep last night, said Bee. Never mind, said Dad. Tonight I will tell you a good night story. That is Mum's job, said Bee. That's true, said Dad, gathering Bee up on his lap. And Mum's not here, said Bee with a sniffle. She's not here eating a royal waffle, said Dad, but she's here in other ways. She is? Asked Bee. She is. He gave Bee a big royal hug. Think about it, he said. Bee thought about it all day. That night she lay awake in her room. I cannot fall asleep without listening to Mum's stories, she thought. But maybe if I listen very, very hard, I will hear one. Bee lay perfectly still in the dark, quiet room and listened as hard as she could. Once upon a time, she heard, there was a princess named Bee and a queen named Mum. Mum went away to goodness knows where, and Bee missed her very much, and Mum missed Bee very much too. For 3 whole days and 3 whole nights they missed each other. But Mum said she would come home, and she did. And she brought lots and lots of new stories with her. And everyone lived happily ever after, because Mum never, ever, 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 ever ran out of. And Bee fell asleep, dreaming of stories and kisses. The end. So I hope that's a lovely good night story for you, but it's also a good story here for the end of the year. I'm not going to be able to see you guys for some time. I know that's how it works in summer, but it feels like it's so much longer since we haven't seen each other a long time. And so even though I miss you guys' voices and your personalities and all the things about you guys, I'm just going to have to do what Princess Bee did and think about you and think about all the ways that you're still in my life, even though I don't get to see you in person. And I look forward to seeing you guys later this year. Bye.